Rusia y Ucrania realizaron el mayor intercambio de prisioneros desde el comienzo de la guerra en febrero de 2022. El presidente ucraniano Volodymyr Zelensky anunció este miércoles el regreso de más de 200 soldados y civiles. A cambio, Rusia dijo que 248 militares rusos fueron devueltos y atribuyó la gestión a la intervención humanitaria de los Emiratos Árabes Unidos. Una persona murió y 8 más resultaron heridas tras un ataque con misiles rusos en el centro de Ucrania este jueves, según fuentes oficiales. Hubo interrupciones en el suministro de electricidad y agua debido al daño en edificios en infraestructuras, pero autoridades locales informaron que los servicios han sido restablecidos.
Ukrainians on the receiving end of another massive missile salvo from Russia. The new year beginning just as the last one ended, facing ferocious attacks, not on the front lines, but hitting civilians in cities. Olena, a retired figure skating coach, describes her near miss. The house rocked, the TV went out, there was a violent rumble, she says. It was scary. I didn't know what to do. The 4th floor was on fire. Anna, who also had a near miss, both angry and lucky. It was hell. It was real hell. It was a direct hit with a Kinsale in the yard, she says, right between the blocks of the building. It was just a complete shock. There are no military facilities around here. The capital, Kyiv, like last year, Putin's target of choice.
Almost 100 missiles of various types. At least 70 missiles were shot down. Almost 60 of them were shot down in the Kyiv area. Kharkiv was also hit hard.
In a rare and exclusive interview, the country's top general telling CNN civilians will die without continued Western support.
The Air Force of Ukraine shot down all 10 Russian Kinzhal missiles using Patriot surface-to-air missiles. This is a record. If these Kinzhals had reached their targets, the consequences would have been catastrophic.
The hypersonic Kinsale missile, one of Russia's fastest and potentially Ukrainian civilians' biggest threat.
There is no reason to believe that the enemy will stop there. That is why we need more systems and ammunition for them.
The northeastern city of Kharkiv also bearing the brunt of Putin's New Year's Day promise to escalate strikes. Civilians the casualties, despite Putin's claims to be targeting only military installations.
As of now, there are 44 wounded, all civilians. One local resident died as a result of the strike on this location. There were 3 attacked areas in the city centre.
The death toll climbing not long after he spoke. 2024, already on the same track as 2023. Pain and suffering in unwelcome abundance. Nick Robertson, CNN, London.
Joining me now is Matthew Schmidt, Associate Professor of National Security at the University of New Haven. Before that, he was Professor of Strategic and Operational Planning at the US Army Command and General Staff College. Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Happy New Year. It's good to be here.
Okay, so I want you to listen to the Ukrainian president describing the past few days of these sustained Russian airstrikes. Here he is.
Це абсолютно свідомий терор. І лише за кілька днів.
This is absolutely conscious terror. In just a few days, from December 29th till today, Russia has already used almost 300 missiles and more than 200 drones against Ukraine. No other country so far has repelled similar attacks by combined drones and missiles.
Clearly, this is not the new year Ukraine was hoping for. It would seem Russia spent the past few months rebuilding depleted stockpiles of missiles and drones, while at the same time, without US funding, Ukraine's military is now rationing ammunition. Will it be long before this sort of new reality begins to shift the front lines in the east?
I don't think so. The loss of air defense for Ukraine is catastrophic. Their ability to create air defense took some time. If you go back to 2022, and it was critical to allowing them to defend Kyiv, for instance. If they can't defend Kyiv from Russian air attacks, Russia is quite capable then of coming back in and fixing the mistakes they made in 2022 to try to take the city.
So even though Ukraine has not been in the headlines for the past few months, we should note the war has continued. So here's a reminder of what Ukrainians have been living with.
We were under fire the whole night. First there were shot hits, then we fell asleep for a second and were woken up by explosions. Hearing that missiles are in the air, me and my child hid in the corridor. We were very scared.
Something fell and there was a strong explosion. The windows were blown out and flew around the flat. Oh God, what a horror this is. Just think about it. Why is this happening?
There are a lot of reasons why it is happening, but at this moment, is this happening because Republicans in the US Congress are letting it happen by playing politics and blocking billions of dollars in US military assistance?
Yes, I think that they are culpable. I think that Russia's analytical services have looked out and they've said there is a wedge in the American political establishment that we can drive. We can cut off aid to Ukraine in this area. We can launch large attacks in order to absorb existing Ukrainian air defense ammunition, and we can create this kind of pressure, this kind of pain and terror in the Ukrainian population. I think that's exactly what they're doing.
So, hypothetically speaking, if Congress was to return in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and that Ukraine funding bill actually eventually gets passed, all the the wheels and deals are done. There's an agreement there between the Republicans and Democrats. How much progress would have been lost over that period of time? Will it be possible to sort of go back and get it, but at what cost?
I think that they could probably get most of the air defense ammunition into the country within a week or two. It's already pre-positioned in Europe, and it's there on the expectation that the money was going to be appropriated back in December. So I think you could make up a lot of the ground if Congress acts.